Hey, it's Wednesday. How are you doing? He's like, I'm pissed off. I'm always looking mad. Look at that face. Look at that. Stop looking at me. Hey, you want something? You want something? No? Go check my ID. Yeah, now you can pet me. Ponky doo. She is purring. I can confirm she is purring. I don't think you can hear it, but Pumpkin, Pumpkin, Punky doo. Oh, you want a thing? Do you want something? She's purring. She is purring. I know you can't hear because I'm sitting down here on the floor again. I got the heater going. Got my little space heater. I had to get it back for my son. I got Evie right here. See, Evie is right here. Evie. That's my dinner. I had an emergency pizza for dinner, and I was working on this right here. I have a video that's processing right now, and so I ran out after work and got some pizza, and I had a little thin crust pizza in there, and that was my dinner. So yeah, I had to get my heater back, my little space heater right here. Okay, so my younger son this morning, they had a 2-hour delay for school because yesterday it was windy. They had the day off school yesterday. There was no school yesterday because it was windy, and they were afraid there would be power outages. Fortunately, I don't think there were any. But the weather was pretty horrible yesterday. I went to work and it was dark. It just looked dark all day long. Every time I looked outside, it looked like it was 6 o'clock at night. Even in the middle of the day, it was just dark, really windy, really rainy. I don't know how much rain we got yesterday, but it was a lot. We got a ton of rain, and then it rained even more overnight. It woke me up about 3 o'clock this morning. It was raining so hard, and I was so confused because I woke up like, what is that noise? It was just raining so hard. And I'm going, what is that noise? And I couldn't figure out I was confused. I just woke up, and it took me a second because I thought it was the heater. I thought, well, the furnace had kicked on. Like, why is it so loud? No, it was just raining really hard. Pumpkin, do you see ghosts? Are you looking at ghosts again? No, I don't see ghosts. She totally sees ghosts in here. Hey, you playing with my necklace? Were you going to play with it? This is the necklace I wore today with my sweater. Do you like it? You want me to pet you with it? Pet me with anything, I don't care. I'm starved for attention. I'm starved. Marty and Boop are outside. Those two, they're like two little argumentative peas in a pod. And they're very much alike. They wrestle one another off and on all day long. And in the mornings, they'll wrestle one another right outside of my door, and I can hear them body slamming each other up against my door, and it's very disturbing because it gets really loud. They get violent with one another. Boop instigates it at least half the time now. She's really gotten into it. She's discovered she likes to body slam Marty, and then Marty body slams her, and they just wrestle around, and I think they both enjoy it. Anyway, so no school yesterday whatsoever. No remote school, no nothing. So today, there was a 2-hour delay. So when I left for work this morning, my younger son was up. I said, all right, now, you got a 2-hour delay, but you got to get on the bus and go to school. Oh, no problem. Well, I get a text from him at about almost 11 o'clock this morning. He said, hey, guess what? I said, what? I missed the bus. How'd you miss the bus? Well, the app didn't tell me the bus was coming. All you have to do is take the normal time you get on the bus and add 2 hours to it, and then go out there and wait for the bus. Well, he didn't do that. He missed the bus. So he rode his bike to school. He did, Pumpkin. He rode his bike to school, and he got halfway there, and he texted me, and he said, Mom, my hands are freezing. They're numb. I'm so cold. And he sent me a picture of his hand. Like, look how red my hand is. Like, what do you want me to do? So then he had to ride his bike home after school. And he said he was so cold when he got here that he had to have my space heater. So he came up here and he got my space heater, and it was downstairs on the coffee table where he had been warming his hands by the heat of the space heater. So I had to tell him to bring it back up here and put it back up here. He plugged it into the wrong outlet, but other than that, it's fine. What has happened this week? Nothing, except it seems like it's been a really long week. It should be at least Thursday night by now, but it's only Wednesday night. It's kind of been uneventful. I'm really glad the power didn't go out yesterday. The wind was horrible. It was just absolutely horrible. And I got home and nothing had blown away, not a trash can or anything, which was really good. Not much has happened this week. It's been kind of quiet, but I wanted to take a minute to say, hey, to let you know I had not forgotten about you. Oh, and when I got home too, my younger son, has discovered he likes the Autumn Crisp grapes that they have at Aldi, because I had one of the containers of those in the refrigerator, and I was taking some every morning, as part of my lunch. I would take some grapes. We ate them all. They're all gone. He ate all of my grapes. So I have no grapes for my lunch tomorrow or Friday. I know, Pumpkin, that's about the face I had when I saw it sitting on the coffee table and it was empty. Like, where are my grapes? Oh, were you saving those? Yes, I was. They were for my lunch. Well, you didn't tell me that. So if you don't specifically tell him things, he can do whatever he wants, as long as, if you didn't specify. I think he needs to be an attorney. I said, you're really good at finding loopholes and everything. You didn't specifically say these were for your lunch. I thought anybody could have them. I didn't specify. He was right about that. So he ate all of my grapes. The whole damn container is gone. It was a good sized container too. He ate all of them. So, I don't have any time to go get any, because I have a class tomorrow right after work, and then I have to come home and do stuff, and I'm gonna have to do without my grapes, and they're really good. The Autumn Crisp grapes at Aldi are oh my God, they're so good. They're the best grapes, except for maybe the cotton candy grapes. I like those a little bit better, but the Autumn Crisp grapes are great. They're really big and very crisp. They're firm and very sweet, very nice grapes. And I enjoyed them for the last 3 mornings at work as part of my breakfast. But alas, I will not have any tomorrow, and I probably won't have any Friday either. And I'm already crabby. I'm pre-crabby. I'm crabby in anticipation of the event. Pumpkin. Oh, hey, what? Do you want something? It's still me. Gotta check my ID. You want to sniff my forehead? She likes to sniff people's foreheads. You want to sniff my... Ugh. I don't want to sniff your forehead. She has to make sure she knows you before you pet her. If you try to pet her without letting her check your ID, she'll bite you or scratch you. But she loves to be petted. You could pet her all day. She would never get tired of it. I told her, I said, I have done you a disservice. You should have ended up in the home of like a little old lady who never goes anywhere, who never has anybody over. It's very quiet in her house, no other pets, who can just sit all day and pet her. Like sit and watch her shows with Pumpkin on her lap and just pet her all day. Pumpkin would be in heaven. She would be in heaven. Because I know I don't pet her as much as she wants me to. She's purring right now. She's happy. She's a good girl. And Evie's just sleeping down here under my legs and enjoying the space heater. She heard me finish my video. I made a video and it's processing right now. She heard me finish it, and then she wanted to come in here because she heard the heater was on. Yeah, and so I sat down to eat my pizza, and Evie came in here to join me. What has happened this week? There was something I wanted to tell you. Now I don't remember what it was. Did I tell you about the experience I had the other day? What was it? It was Sunday afternoon. I was headed to Walmart. And I was driving down this 4-lane road. And, just driving along. We were running maybe about... The speed limit was 45. We were going about 50. There were, I was just going with the flow of traffic. We were going 50-ish. A little over 50. I was in the right lane, and there were cars in front of me, cars behind me, and there were like 3 pickup trucks in a row. It was from some company. There were these 3 pickup trucks, and I just distinctly remember this because we're just driving along, and I'm, just driving, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes this crotch rocket, like this Kawasaki or whatever, this little fast motorcycle, went flying up between the 2 lanes of traffic. He was running 70 at least. I mean, just whoa, just like between, like, are you insane? And about the time I recovered from that heart attack, another crotch rocket came flying up through there. God almighty. And all I could think was, all it would take would be one of these vehicles deciding to change lanes, because none of us saw you coming. They were there and they were gone. I mean, like I say, we were running about 50. They were going at least 65 to 70. I mean, they went blowing past us like we weren't moving. I think they were going faster than 70 because just how fast they were here and gone. My God in heaven, all it would take would be one car to go like this. And you're a goner, dude. You are deceased. I mean, woo. They talk about all these, people, look out for motorcycles on the road. I guarantee you a lot of motorcycle wrecks are from shit like that. And I'm looking around like, where is a cop when you need one? Where is a damn cop when you need one? And the funny thing was, we all ended up at the stoplight together. They just got to the stoplight quicker than we did. They were still sitting there at the stoplight. What was it? I just wanted to get out. Like, I think it was Gallagher that the comedian did a thing about that. Like, I wanted to get out of my car, got plenty of red light, get out of my car and walk over and go, what was all that about back there? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? I should have taken pictures of their license plates, but I thought, what good would it do? What damn good would it do? Nothing would happen to them, so don't worry about it. They don't pull you over for shit anymore, though. If the cop had seen them, they probably wouldn't have done anything. Isn't that right, Pumpkin? Why are you over here anyway? Hey, what do you want? You want something? She wants me to get up there and lay down so she can she likes to nuzzle my armpit for some reason. Evie's just happy down here next to the heater. She doesn't care whether I'm down here or not. She just wants to be in front of the heater. So that scared me to death. I mean, it took me a while for my heart to stop just fibrillating. Like, my God. It was horrible. And I don't mean they were in a lane. I mean, we were in a lane. I was in a lane. The trucks over here were in a lane. They were going between us along the dotted line. Ugh. Yeah, I think that's where a lot of motorcycle wrecks happen, is just young idiots like that who think they're immortal and they will never die and they can do anything and nothing will happen to them. You cannot ride a motorcycle and do that. It is just not responsible. Riding a motorcycle is dangerous enough as it is. And I used to do it all the time. When I was little, when I was a kid, my dad and I think I've told this before, he had a Honda, nothing fancy, but he had this motorcycle and that he had fixed up. And I think he got it for a deal because there was something wrong with it, but he fixed whatever was wrong. And then we would go out riding. If it was a nice day on the weekend or something, we would just get on that motorcycle and just go. Like, we don't have any destination in mind. We're just going to go and see where we end up. And a lot of times I would sit in the front and I would drive. I was changing gears. I was like 10, 11 years old. I would drive, and the only time he took over was when he saw a cop, and then he would take over. But he taught me how to command a motorcycle. And I have thought about getting one, but honestly, I wouldn't do it until my kids didn't need me anymore, because I know how dangerous it is. And it is very dangerous to ride a motorcycle, even if you do everything right. It's dangerous. I wouldn't do it as long as my kids still needed me. Maybe when they're grown and gone, I might, my frail old ass may go get a motorcycle license and obtain a motorcycle somewhere, but not now. But I do kind of miss it, honestly. I miss riding a motorcycle. I haven't been on one in years. I could totally still do it. It's like riding a bike. You don't forget how to do it, but you have, obviously you have to have the license to do it. But yeah, it's not too hard to do. But I know the Harley Davidson places around here have classes that you can take for riding a motorcycle if you want to. I'd probably go do that, and just for a refresher, because it has been a very long time. But yeah, again, I wouldn't do it anytime soon, as long as they need me, because it is just so damn dangerous. But God, that scared me to death. Just, oh, idiots, man. I don't know. Sometimes I think the only thing that will make them see it any differently is if they will have to lay that bike down on the asphalt. And it may take a wreck for them to figure out how dangerous it is. I don't know. But my video is almost done processing. I don't think I have anything else to tell you. Oh, somebody did ask me, if you don't have Holiday ready to share yet, which I am still working on now. I'm well into part 2 now. Can you tell me what it's about? Can you tell me just a little bit about it? Well, without giving anything away, Holiday takes place 13 years after the end of River Road. Now you have two of the characters from River Road are in Holiday. Nobody else from River Road is in Holiday. It's Aiden and Liddy and nobody else. It's not based in the church, although I will say, because originally I said, well, if you didn't like the religious tone of River Road, Holiday won't bother you because there's not really a religious tone. Actually, part 2, I will say, what can I say without giving anything away? If you are a fundamentalist, really religious person, part 2 might bother you, and I don't really know what else I can say about it. It's not meant to be religious, but I can see where religious people might have a problem with it. I myself am not a particularly religious person, so I don't feel like I'm confined by anything. I can write about whatever I want. But now it does delve into some specifics about what Aiden does, because I don't think I'm giving anything away at this point. If you've read River Road, he's an agent of Satan. Well, it talks about that. There's quite a bit of that factors into part 2. And so if you're a really religious person, you may not care for it. It may not be something that you're comfortable reading. Honestly, there were some parts of it just from my Christian background growing up, with Christian beliefs and stuff. It made me feel kind of weird. I don't know how to describe how it made me feel. Not uncomfortable, but kind of squeaky. Just kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. It made me feel weird to be writing about it. But not in a way that my instinct said you don't need to be doing it. It was just, I knew right away what it was. It's because you've always been taught you don't talk about stuff like this. You don't, because it deals with the devil, and why are you talking about it? And you don't want to get involved in anything like that, like Ouija boards and things like that. You don't want to touch that. So, but it does kind of get into that. So if that kind of stuff bothers you, you probably would not care for this story. It's probably not one you would want to read. So just put that out there. But it basically, it puts them back together 13 years later. There was a 13-year period where they were not, Liddy didn't see Aiden anymore after she left, and he went to her place where she was staying with her grandparents, and she didn't see him anymore after the end of that story, where he leaves her there and she's going to write the story. She didn't see him anymore for 13 years after that. So it comes back. The end of River Road is in 1997. Holiday picks up in 2010. And then we have a period of time right there. And then part 2, the whole thing takes place within less than a year. So yeah, it's less than a year. So it's basically 2010. So actually it's the fall of 2010 into early 2011. It goes up through February maybe 2011, something like that. So it's less than a year. Anyway, it's Aiden and Liddy together again, and I've thoroughly enjoyed writing it. It's been a lot of fun to write. it's been a real experience. It didn't go where I thought it was going to go. Initially, it was supposed to be a short story. It is not a short story anymore. It's going to be longer than River Road was. It's going to be longer, a longer story. So, yeah, I really didn't anticipate that, but here we are. So I don't know when I'm going to be done. I don't know how much further I have to go. But once I get it done, I will share it. I will share it. Am I going to read it? I don't know. I guess I'll read it. It's harder now. Well, no, it's not, because when I read River Road, I had a full-time job. I'll find time to do it. I'll read it. I'll read it. But there's not much more I can say about it, really. I don't want to give anything away. It's not going to go at all where you think it's going to go. It didn't go where I thought it would go. It's going to go some places you cannot anticipate. It's a wild ride. I think you will like it, unless talking about Satan bothers you, in which case you probably don't want to read this. You probably don't want to hear it. But I will get into all the details later. But I've had a lot of fun writing it, and I still work on it at lunchtime when I'm at work, and it's been great. It's been fantastic. Some days when I work on it, though, I have to put in earplugs because just the ambient office noise some days is worse than other days. And today was one of those days. I had to have earplugs in to, like, focus on it. And then the earplugs get on my nerves because then I'm conscious of the earplugs, and then I'm irritable. But you just have to tune it out and just focus on what you're doing. So I had to do that today, but I did work on it today. But I'm gonna get to that. It's almost done. But I hope you're having a good week. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. And Pumpkin says, hey. Hey. Shut up. Thank you again so much for being here. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I'll see you again soon.